Well, can we get into student debt relief for a minute?
Indeed we can.
Because
yes, we
the
can.
people, the girls, the guys, the human beings, y'all, this debt relief plan, I was saying, like, there's either the camp that is like pissed and mad. It's like either not enough or we shouldn't have the debt canceled at all. But I choose happiness. I choose optimism. And I choose to be happy for people who are getting.
I choose you.
Listen, I'm one of those people. You are too, Tiff. Like, our student loans have been paid off, right?
Yeah.
So,
and I'm
like,
not mad.
I feel happy for y'all. Like, I feel like if your loans were paid off, you were capable of paying them off. You know, like, you made it happen. So it's not like I'm not going to sit here and calculate, well, what if I had put that $8,793 in the stock market, you know, instead of paying it off? What would I have now? Like, I don't know. I just choose to be happy for people. So, what should we cover? Should we just go through like a quick roundup of what exactly it all entails?
Yes, we can.
So starting with the amounts, we got $10,000. If you have regular federal student loans, you're eligible for up to $10,000. And the up to is important because, you know, they love their fine print.
Can we just for a second, can we pause to say, this is why we be telling the girls, like, if possible, if you have a choice between private and federal, girl, we be telling you to go the federal route. Because first of all, you know, you didn't have to pay for basically 3 years. It's going to be 3 full years that you didn't have to pay. Yep. And then this forgiveness component. And sometimes you don't have a choice. So obviously, you know, the private, right? But to jump right into private, we don't suggest. But this is one of the reasons why I just wanted to, now when, you know, later, for those of you who might be just going to college or whatever, like, and you're making these considerations, you're like, oh, the federal student loans over private student loans, unless you don't have a choice.
Yes, absolutely. So starting with the amounts, $10,000 or $20,000, which one of those depends on what type of loans you have. So if you have regular federal loans, and you get eligible for up to $10,000. And then if you are a Pell Grant recipient, which most households who qualify, or families who qualify for Pell Grants, tend to be on the lower income side. So if you're a Pell Grant recipient, you are eligible for up to double. But the income requirement, of course, I feel like they have the announcement out there about the income requirement, but I'm still getting questions from people like, so if you have earned up to $125,000, you are eligible. If your household income, if your personal individual income is more than that, you're not eligible. And then for a household, so if you have a household of two adults earning an income, collectively, if you earn more than $250,000, then you are not eligible. So 125 or 250, those are the magic numbers for eligibility. I would encourage anyone. So my sister qualifies for this too. And I was like, studentaid.gov/debt relief is like the home base for all the knowledge, all the things.
Can we say that again, Mandy? One more again for the girls who just grabbed a pen?
Yes, studentaid.gov/debt relief. And if the site acts a little cray-cray, I think people crashed it over the weekend because I was trying to get on it. Yeah, you can go to ed.gov and find your way there, or whitehouse.gov. There's also a good, and it's like on their homepage, there's a great fact sheet on whitehouse.gov. I think this is, I feel like this is immediately, whenever there's a new program, it's like, do not, if anyone calls you and they're like, pay me $100, I'll get your application through. I'll make sure that you qualify for the student debt relief plan. No, immediately no. It's free. You don't have to do shit. You don't have to do anything, pardon my French, to qualify, other than call your student loan servicer and make sure that your information is up to date. Your income information, your phone, your address, your direct deposit, all that is up to date. You can do that. But as long as you hit those qualification markers, it should be automatic for you. There may be a form that you have to apply for technically, but that's going to be available to everybody. And I think word on the street is it's coming out in October.
Okay. Can we just talk about real quick the pettiness level of the White House? So there's some Republicans that oppose. Girl, can we get into the pettiness? So I don't know who's running the White House. It's clearly a millennial or a Z. Because I feel like exes, you know, we be following the rules. We're like, oh, I don't want to do that. So what happened was the number of Republicans who, of course, were cry me a river about this. And they, you know, were sharing like, what will the farmers do? It was just so random. Like, people will have to pay for your, you know, because you're getting loans forgiven, people, it's going to, the public is going to have to ingest those, you know, the payments. Mm-hmm. And so the White House, in supreme pettiness, would reshare the person opposing this forgiveness plan with how much PPE loan of forgiveness they receive. So it's like, this person's like, they shouldn't get 10,000. And then you see such and such had 900,000 of PPE money forgiven. Marjorie, whatever that lady, crazy lady with the blonde hair, you know, she had like 100-something thousand of PPE loan forgiven. So it's
PPP.
PPP. I said PPE. I don't know what PPE is like. What is that? Isn't that like
That's masks?
Yeah, girl. It's
personal protective equipment.
Girl,
it's okay. One
it's been a long pandemic.
In pneumonia terms. I got you. We know what you're talking about.
Yes. So I just thought that, I was like, wait. First I was like, I thought it was a joke. Mm-hmm. And then because people were sharing it, I was like, oh, maybe somebody just made this meme. And like, no. It's the actual White House account. Basically, they did that. Diss you. Remember when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock? And the black constituents were like, although we do not agree with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, we are going to discuss it amongst ourselves, amongst family. You out there, you're not allowed to say nothing about Will Smith. Don't say nothing about Will Smith. And anyone who said something, people pulled up receipts to say, this you? Like Jim Carrey saying whatever about Will Smith, but meanwhile, he forcibly kissed, and like, I think it was Christina Aguilera or somebody on stage. And they were like, Jim Carrey, this you? Oh, okay, be quiet. Anybody who said literally anything, it's like, we're not saying Will is right. We're saying we're not talking to you. Yeah. And so they pulled the immediate diss you, and the White House did like, so you don't want regular people to have this $10,000, potentially up to $20,000 forgiven, but you can be forgiven. I just saw a clip about, you know, the DR, you know, Voldemort of personal finance, that we don't mention his name. He was basically saying how, this is just for the Biden administration to get you guys to like them before, you know, midterms. And I'm like, probably.
He ain't wrong.
Right? I'm like, I mean, so and give me dinner before you seduce me. Right? Take me out. Shoot. Yeah. And so, you know, where everybody's aware. And he was like, basically, that people should be responsible for their own debt. I'm like, and yet when you go to DR's website, he literally has my bankruptcy story. Yeah. He had a net worth of $1 million. This is him, his sanctioned website, that the words there are words that he said, yes, put up here. He filed for bankruptcy when he was in his mid-20s, and he had a net worth of $1 million. This is what his website says. So I'm like, I'm confused. How do you say confused in Spanish?
Confundida. That might be confounded, but close enough.
That's good, close enough. Yo soy confundida. Right?
¿Pero qué?
Right? Because I'm just like, here's the thing. How you going to apply for bankruptcy, Mr. I was a millionaire, and then when the poors, including myself, well, I'm not a poor, but I was,
the regulars,
are like, hey, I'm having a hard time. I would love some help. Because this would have been so helpful when I needed it. No, not you. It's giving hypocrisy. It's giving patriarchy. It's giving selfishness. It's giving, I don't really care about people. I just care about myself. And as long as I can get what I need to get, forget about everybody else. You know, it's giving Dave Ramsey. Did we say his name out loud? Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, I just wanted to share that component too, that like some of the people are angry and, you know, but who cares? If you qualify, you know, for some people, honestly, it's not even nearly enough. I had a friend, she has her master's, she owes 6 figures. And she's like, girl, this is just a little drop in the bucket, I guess. So some people are saying it's not enough. Some people say it's too much. Some people are saying you shouldn't do it at all. But either way, it's happening.
We got to start somewhere.
Yes.
And you know what? It has been a long few years since Biden was elected. Has it been a few years? How many years has it been? It feels like 70-11. Anyway, it's been a minute, right? And at least finally we are seeing some action, okay?
Yeah.
We have had some gun reform, and it's never going to be enough for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, we have had this huge Inflation Reduction Act that was just passed, which has, you know, given so much more access to American households, like given you subsidies to invest in like electronic vehicles. That's the only thing that stands out to me because my husband has been hammering that home in my head ever since it was passed. But now we have the student debt relief. Now I feel like progressives, like people were like, oh, it should be 50K, it should be more. But at least we started somewhere, right? We set a precedent, no pun intended. And I feel like let's see what happens. We should also mention that it wasn't just about debt relief. This action that he took. It's also extending one final time.
Yes.
Your moratorium on federal student loan payments until the end of 2022. So one final time, and they were clear this time, one final time until December 31st, 2022. And then payments will resume in January. And then they also like created a new income-driven repayment plan, right? Where it's 5%. It's based on your payments will be capped at 5% of your income. So very exciting things from this plan. It is
exciting, honestly. So hopefully people can lean into this and start to, get a little righter. You know what I mean? Hey, BA fam. We're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.